Welcome to another episode of the Cup of Joe Sports Show. I'm your host, Joe Whitman. Welcome back to the show. This is number 10 on the old podcast. Holy cow, I made it to 10. Congratulations to me. And to any of you who are still listening, congratulations to you as well. Today, our first topic, we are talking about the NBA draft. Yes, the lottery. It happened. Was there a conspiracy? Was it just crazy luck? That's for you to figure out and to wonder about and to think about until your team gets to pick whoever they'd like to pick. That's if you even have a team. Not everyone likes the NBA, but we move forward. Let's talk about the Pelicans, okay? They had a 6% chance at the number one pick. 6%! And they got the number one pick. Luck? Conspiracy. You make the call. I'm going to say it was probably luck, which is good for them. Lakers had a 9% chance to pick in the top four. They got extremely lucky. Or somebody is fixing the numbers. Because let's be honest, the NBA does want a successful Lakers franchise because it's the Lakers. They are historically great, have won multiple championships. I'm sure the NBA doesn't want to watch them lose with LeBron James. So, I'm not saying there's a conspiracy. I'm just saying it's possible, right? Pelicans, they're going to take Zion Williamson. Guaranteed. Okay, and why wouldn't you? He's the best player in the pool. He's the best kid out there right now to take. He is talented. He's amazing to watch. Zion, I am so sorry that you'll be going to New Orleans and not New York City. You will be poorly marketed in New Orleans, and your team will most likely not win for most of your early career. So have fun with that. Good luck. Now, would you have won in New York? I don't know. But at least in New York, you're in New York City, and the whole world sees you. And your marketing chances go through the roof, which, let's be honest, Michael Jordan made way more money off the court with Nike and all the other things that sponsorships he's done, way more money off the court with the extra stuff than he made on the court, which is pretty awesome. Now, granted, he played in Chicago. New Orleans, not quite the same, right? So, Zion, congrats. You'll be number one. Not congrats. You are on the Pelicans. So, have fun with that. Which turns me to this. Anthony Davis. People are like, oh, he's going to stay and play with Zion? No. That's done. His ship has sailed. He's already mentioned he wants to be traded. He wants out of New Orleans because of what I just said. New Orleans is not going to be very good. And Anthony Davis doesn't want to wait around for Zion to do his thing maybe a year or two down the road to where they can make the playoffs. Anthony Davis is good enough, one of the best players in the league. He wants to win. So he's out. He's going somewhere. So Zion will have his own team. He'll build something in New Orleans. Who knows what. And good for him. Anthony Davis has now become a trade chip. Number 2 pick, Memphis. Well, since they've already publicly said they're taking Ja Morant, I'm obviously going to agree with them. They will take Ja Morant. I'm a genius, right? And I cannot, I have to agree completely on this one. He's awesome. Ja Morant might be my favorite player in the whole draft. He reminds me a little bit of Allen Iverson. Just because he can create his own offense at any moment of any game. He's super exciting. He takes it to the hole with authority. And you know what? He doesn't care what anyone else thinks. He's going to ball out. He is a baller. And I think Memphis is getting a great pick at number 2 with Ja Morant. We'll see 10 years down the road. Ja Morant may be better than Zion Williamson overall. We're talking stats, championships, success overall. I don't know. Something tells me that this kid's something special, and he's going to light the league on fire. I really believe that. At number 3, the New York Knickerbockers. Maybe the favorite name of a sports franchise ever for me, Knickerbockers. That's awesome. Of course, no one calls them that. They call them the Knicks. However, at number 3, they're going to take R.J. Barrett. All right. Going in to the college season, he was the number 1 ranked prospect. The kid can play. He is a legit scorer. He's relentless. He's learned from Coach K. You pair up Barrett with Kevin Knox and combined with, I don't know, let's say they sign Kevin Durant and Kyrie. Wow. Knicks fans would lose their minds. They would lose it, and the Knicks would immediately be contenders. Just think about that for a second. That statement I just said. Knicks would be contenders. When's the last time anyone could say that? So I think Barrett's going to go to the Knicks, and I do think the Knicks are going to try as hard as they can to convince Durant and Kyrie to come play. And now we're talking. Now we got a ball club. We'll see what happens. At number 4, the Lakers. This pick is not going to be made by the Lakers. I'm going to go out on a limb here. They're going to pick that. They're going to trade that pick. The number 4 pick they are trading with Lonzo Ball and Kyle Kuzma, or anyone else you really would like to pick of value on the Lakers, to New Orleans for Anthony Davis. I'm calling it right now. Anthony Davis is going west. Pelicans, with that pick, they're going to take Cam Reddish. Okay? He's got the prototypical NBA body. He can get the rim quick. He already knows how to play with Zion. They're buddies. They're dookies. So win-win for the Pelicans. Anthony Davis, LeBron form up with the Lakers. But wait, the Lakers still aren't done. I could see Kawhi Leonard signing with the Lakers this offseason. Can you imagine Kawhi, Anthony Davis, and LeBron on the same court? Now you got a team. That's another big 3. LeBron's been pretty successful with big 3s in the past. Just saying, that's how it might go down. At number 5, Cleveland Cavaliers, Jarrett Culver, Texas Tech. If you watched the NCAA tournament this past year, this dude's a man. Okay? He's got amazing potential. He wants the ball when the game's on the line. He's a 6'6" power forward. He's not afraid to take it to the hole. He's tough as nails. Yeah. Some of the action I watched in that tournament, man, he has got just these NBA moves. He already has them. He is ready to play at the next level. And I do think, Cleveland, let's be honest, they need all the help they can get. I think Culver would be an immediate improvement, obviously, and he'll step right in there, and hopefully Cleveland can start going down a better path. Number 6, Phoenix, Darius Garland out of Vanderbilt. You put him with Devin Booker and DeAndre Ayton, and the Suns are looking, they got a bright future, all right? Devin Booker, let me tell you what. Devin Booker, he is top 5 in the league of players, in my opinion. The guy's amazing, and he's still so young. He's only going to get better. But, like I said, you get this good guard, Darius Garland, on the Vanderbilt. You match him with Booker, Ayton. Suns have got good potential there. Number 7, DeAndre Hunter. The Bulls are going to take DeAndre Hunter from Virginia. He's a big guard. No quitting him. Oh, that sounds familiar. Anybody, maybe number 23 come to mind? I'm not comparing. Let me mind you here. I'm not comparing DeAndre Hunter to Michael Jordan. That's stupid. But I'm just saying, as far as body type and the ability to score from the guard position, DeAndre Hunter is that guy. He knows how to win. Played for Virginia last year. There will be other picks in this draft, but let's be honest, I've talked about the NBA way longer than I'd like to at this point. So let's move on to our next topic in the show, and it is the most difficult sport/activity because, for an average Joe like myself and most of you out there listening, the most difficult sport or activity you've done. Now I will say activity because not all these probably qualify as a sport, and you'll realize why here in a second. So my 5th most difficult sport for an average Joe, of course, bowling. That's right, I said it, bowling. I need to state first that I absolutely hate bowling because I suck at it. Okay? I can admit that. Here's the thing. Gutters are attractive, and somehow the wax on the lanes just make that ball want to go to the gutters. That's not cool. Who designed the game like that? That's awful. It's an awful thing to do. All right? I'm lucky just to make it go straight, but when you start putting wax on it, the ball could do anything. It's like a giant knuckleball. That's not cool. And the ball size. Dear God, when you go bowling, you can never find the ball that is quite the right size, the right weight. There's balls that you know your thumb might get torn off when you throw it down the lane. That's awful. So yeah, I'm never comfortable when I'm bowling because I never have the right size ball. Shoes. Okay, they're awful and unnecessary in my opinion. Seriously. You know what? Let us do it in socks. Seriously, it's fine. I can still slide towards the lane because that's apparently what those shoes are supposed to be. They let you slide and then throw an amazing bowling ball, which I've never done in my life. Yeah, the shoes are awful. And anything that they have to spray before they give you, yeah, I don't want to put on my feet. All right, the cleansing spray or whatever you want to call it, deodorizer, yeah, I'm good. I don't need that. I don't want those shoes. And also the spare. I can never, ever pick up that 2 to 3 pin spare, right? You're like, oh yeah, I got 3 pins down there. I can get one of these. No, never get them all. Never. I get 1, maybe 2, but never all 3. Nope. That's bowling. That's my bowling life, okay? My best score ever was in high school for gym class, 135. That's right. Started with a 1. 135. I hate it. I hate bowling. Fourth most difficult sport / activity for an average Joe. The game of quarters. You know what I'm talking about. The college drinking game. Yeah, I never could quite get the right combination of velocity and launch angles. I realize these are now baseball terms. Eat your heart out, Peter Gammons. But yeah, like some people could master this skill of throwing a quarter into a cup and making their competitor drink really terrible beer out of a red, cup of some sort. Who knows, last time it was washed. But yeah, it's difficult, There's a lot of factors. What kind of table are you playing on? Is it a card table? Is it a picnic table? Is it a pool table? Because I've been to parties where pool tables were used as just normal tables, and there was no care about what was happening to that really nice pool table, although, to be honest, I can't remember any really nice pool tables at any parties I was at. But, all these things are changing everything. And let's not forget the biggest factor of all, the woozy factor, okay? Every time you missed, of course, you had to add more alcohol to the equation, which is never good for a game of skill. So yeah, quarters, number 4 on my list of most difficult sport activity. It's definitely not a sport, let's be honest, for the average Joe. 3rd on my list, tennis. Yeah, I said it, tennis. It's basically giant ping pong. However, it's worse. I'm good at ping pong, not so much at tennis. Pretty much every backhand attempt seems to go out of bounds, and sometimes out of the court completely. Have no touch whatsoever. Coordination in general, you need to be coordinated. Your knees and your feet, yeah, it's tough on those. And serving, the only way I can actually serve it into the box, I have to hit it super light, like just kind of lob it basically right over the net, and then my opponent slams it right back in my face. That's awesome. Super fun for me. Great for the opponent who was going easy on me, even though they basically just aimed at my head and fired a tennis ball as hard as they could. And you always know in tennis, you're in trouble when your opponent brings a brand new tube of tennis balls with them. Yeah, that's not good. Lob shots, people are talking about, oh, I do a nice lob shot. Yeah, that's just a home run derby for me. I've tried to hit balls over people's head that were up at the net, they were trying to be fancy, and it leaves the park. It's basically home run derby in a tennis court. Yeah, every time I put it over the fence. So, yeah, tennis, number 3 for me. Number 2 on the most difficult sport / activity for the average Joe. We're going to stick with rackets and balls. Racquetball. Okay. If you've never been on a racquetball court, it's basically the epitome of hell. All right. Nothing says I'll probably get hurt today like a nice game of racquetball. Okay, the ball is tiny, it goes really fast, and it packs a punch. When you're in there, you feel like you're stuck in a high-speed version of Pong. Remember the old video game, the original video game with the 2 little sticks and the ball bounced back? Yeah, you're in that. You're actually in the game, and the ball is flying by your face. And like when you're trying to hit a ball that's near the wall, what do? Do you hit the ball or do you hit the wall? Oh, usually you hit the wall, and that's bad. And you can break the racket and hurt yourself and all sorts of bad things. Also, things to watch out for. If you step on the court with someone who wears really fancy eye protection, yeah, just leave. Immediately leave, because you don't want what's coming next. It's awful. Racquetball, yeah, number 2. Go away, racquetball. I don't love you. The number one most difficult sport / activity. This one I'll say is a sport for the average Joe. Well, it's been called a good walk spoiled. It's golf. Okay? It's a game of highs and lows, mostly lows. Even when you think you hit a good one, it somehow finds trouble. And when you actually do hit a good one, a nice shot up to the green, you then go ahead and follow that up with a birdie putt that you blow by the hole by 10 feet, and you end up bogeying the hole. That's super fun, right? Yeah. Golf is that one game where you can never actually hit more than 3 consecutive good shots. Just doesn't happen. I'll hit an amazing tee shot, and if I'm lucky, maybe even my second shot's good. But that chip, you know, I'm going to skull that chip all the way over the green and maybe into the next hole, into a group of players. That's just going to happen. It's the most frustrating sport I've ever played. And part of it is just because it's mental, complete mental. That thought that creeps in your head right before you hit the ball that, oh man, I'm going to slice this. I'm going to go into the water. Yeah, right before you hit it. And guess what happens? You hit it into the woods and you hit it in the water. It's awful. Terrible, terrible, terrible. And then let's not forget about some embarrassing moments when you're playing golf. Like, say you're playing in a twosome with a buddy, and there's a foursome in front of you, and they're telling you they wave you on. They want you to play through. Well, then you got to get up on the tee box. Pressure's on you. These guys all think that you're these great golfers because you're playing through and you're playing quicker than they are. That's just math, okay? It takes people with 4 in a group to play longer than people in 2. That's just math. It doesn't mean we're any better than you. So then you got to step on the tee box and hit this great tee shot to prove to these guys that you're better. That's why you're playing through. No. Usually, when I get up on that tee box when we're playing through, it's a terrible shot, almost guaranteed. What I really hope that I do is that I just don't hit it off the tee 20 yards, don't even make it to the ladies' tee box, because that has happened, and that's super embarrassing. That's when I just stay in the cart when my partner hits, and then I drop a ball somewhere out of view, because that's just bad. But it happens. And then last but not least, the thing about golf that's probably the most frustrating is you'll have that one hole in your round that's man, that was amazing. What a great par. Or maybe, just by chance, you happen to get a birdie on a par 3. You're yeah, I can still play this game. It's the biggest lie in sports, okay? There are good golfers. They're called professionals. There are some scratch golfers. They're called people who have really great jobs and they can play golf every day of their life. And then there's the average Joe, like me. That one good hole, that makes you come back every time to torture yourself over and over and over again. Golf, you are something else. That's all I got to say about that. Last on the show, soccer. The game of soccer. I would like to fix the game of soccer because, A, it is boring as hell. I'm sorry. I had to be blunt about this. So I've got some ideas how we can make this sport a little bit more fun to watch for us non-super serious soccer fans. Number 1, let's get rid of the goalies, shall we? Yeah, let's do that. Let's make things a bit more exciting. Apparently 8 yards wide is not wide enough to kick a ball past one dude wearing fancy gloves. Okay? Apparently that's not wide enough. So let's just get rid of the dude wearing the fancy gloves. That'll make it more exciting, right? 2, let's have a clock. I know, it's a crazy idea, right? A sport that has a clock running to tell you how much time is left in the game. Let's have a clock that stops and starts when the action stops and starts. Weird. Crazy idea. So this magical mystery injury time thing no longer exists. Let's just know that we have 2 minutes left in the game. Let's just not trust that the referees are oh yeah, according to Bob's stopwatch, we got about 3.5 minutes left. I don't know. It might be more like 3, or actually, maybe it's only 2. Who really knows? Let's get a clock. I know I'm not asking a lot here, but can we get a clock in soccer? That's all I want. 3, can we take the floppers out of the game? If you're so hurt that you must lay down for 10 minutes, then you should probably hang out with the trainer for the rest of the game, okay? Seriously. I've seen some pretty bad flops almost every time I watch soccer. I mean, and with instant replay, you can see that there was clearly no contact at all. The guy literally just fell down to fall down and then proceeded to lay down and act like he was super hurt. Get rid of the floppers, soccer, okay? Have some dignity, please. 4, my fourth thing to fix soccer is let's get rid of offsides, all right? That's also kind of one of those weird rules that, everyone has to be behind, can't be behind the last defender, all this stuff. Nah, let's get rid of it. We're not going to have goalies. Why should we have offsides? Let's be honest, all right? And it's an imaginary line, really. I mean, at least in hockey, they have a blue line, right? So soccer, no more offsides. Done with it. Last fix for soccer. Sudden death. That's all I want. No more PKs, okay? There's no worse way to end a soccer game than PKs. Because, let's be honest, most people can kick a PK in. All right, most professional level soccer players can make a PK. And it seems a really dumb way to end a really good soccer match. Someone's going to score eventually. That's okay. PKs are the worst. The worst. Obviously, sometimes people miss. And sometimes goalies actually guess correctly. But it's 8 yards wide. You should be able to get it past the goalie if you are talented at playing soccer. Just saying. Let's get rid of it. All right, now for my favorite part of the show, WTF. WTF of this show is people that choose to walk or run on a street. Usually it seems to be a really busy street. When there is clearly a sidewalk right next to you where you're running or walking. Sidewalk. The name even has the word in it. Walk. So, yeah, you're supposed to walk on the sidewalk. And you can even run on the sidewalk. Yeah. But you running or walking in the street causes me to either have to swerve into traffic or slow down to a ridiculous amount of speed to where whoever's behind me will most likely be on their phone and they will rear end me. So to you, walker / runner, sometimes biker, although bikers have rules to the road, so we'll just stick with walker and runners, use the sidewalks. What the f***? That's it. Shameless plug of the show. It is Stella Beer. It's one of my favorites. It's fantastic. It's really good out of the tap. That's all I got for this show, folks. That's it for the Cup of Joe Sports Show. I'm your host, Joe Whitman. I will see you next time. Goodbye.